We are counting down the 10 rarest and most powerful steam engines ever built. These are machines where engineering genius and sheer ambition pushed iron, fire, and steam to their absolute limits. From elegant icons of speed and luxury to one-of-a-kind giants designed to shatter records and move mountains, these locomotives are legends not just for their muscle, but for their elusive designs, astonishing performance, and the stories that set them apart from the rest. Which machine reigns as the rarest and most powerful steam legend of all time? Let us begin our countdown with the number 10. In the 10th place, Flying Scotsman glides through the golden light of an English evening, its polished green livery and brass details glinting as it passes hedgerows and stately stone stations. Built in 1923 for the London and Northeastern Railway, this Pacific set a new standard for express service between London and Edinburgh. With a tractive effort of 29,835 pounds and a scheduled maximum speed of nearly 100 miles per hour by 1928, Flying Scotsman brought high-speed rail travel into daily reality during the golden age of steam. The locomotive's reliability became legendary, enabling non-stop runs that cut hours off the journey and demanded absolute precision from its crew. Driver logbooks from the era speak of the challenge, holding 70 miles per hour for hours, balancing water scoops and injectors, and trusting the machine's steady power. As the only operational survivor of its class, Flying Scotsman owes its continued fame to a massive public preservation campaign, inspiring generations to rally behind its restoration. More than just a machine, it stands as a living symbol of British railway heritage and the enduring power of steam. Number 9. The Sir Nigel Gresley, designed A4 Pacific, arrives in a rush of blue steel and polished chrome, its streamlined casing slicing through the late 1930s air with unmistakable intent. Born into an era obsessed with speed and national prestige, the A4's aerodynamic shell, sculpted in wind tunnel trials at the National Railway Museum, reduced drag by nearly 20% compared to earlier designs. That iconic double chimney silhouette, paired with a low-raked nose, was not just for show. It delivered sustained high-speed running, making over 100 miles per hour a practical reality for daily express service. LNER's Silver Jubilee publicity turned these locomotives into symbols of modernity, with posters and photographs capturing their bold lines and royal blue livery as they hauled crack expresses between London and the north. Of the 35 A4 class locomotives built, only 6 survive, and this particular engine remains certified for mainline operation until 2030, a testament to both its engineering and enduring appeal. The A4 Pacific set a new visual and mechanical standard, paving the way for even greater feats of speed yet to come. In 8th place, the Pennsylvania Railroad T1 barrels through the Appalachian valleys with a form as radical as its ambitions. This 4x4 duplex-drive streamliner pushed American steam design to its limits in the 1940s, splitting the driving wheels into 2 sets beneath a single boiler to reduce hammer blow and deliver smoother, high-speed running. Beneath the sleek Art Deco shell, poppet valves and a massive firebox worked in tandem to unleash a claimed 6,000 indicated horsepower, enough on paper to challenge the newest diesels threatening steam's dominance. Crews recall the T1 as a paradox, exhilarating power offset by a mechanical temperament that demanded constant vigilance. Engineers spent hours wrestling with the poppet valve gear, their hands blackened by oil and cinders, as the locomotive's appetite for maintenance became legend across the system. No complete original T1 survives today. Only fragments and blueprints remain, while a modern-day replica project carries the torch for this vanished breed. The T1 stands as a bold experiment, its raw speed and complexity a testament to the era's relentless drive for innovation, even as reliability proved its undoing. Number 7. The DRG Class 05 emerges as a rare vision of German engineering ambition from the pre-war era, purpose-built to chase speed records on the open rails. Only 3 of these streamlined prototypes ever left the shops, each one shaped for aerodynamic efficiency with aluminum cladding that cut wind resistance by nearly a third. In June 1936, locomotive 05002 set a new world speed record for steam, clocking 201.25 kilometers per hour, just over 125 miles per hour, on a level stretch near Hamborn. The cab gauges and blueprints from the DB Museum reveal a boiler working at 18 atmospheres, or about 265 pounds per square inch, pushing the limits of high-pressure steam for its time. This 3-cylinder Pacific was not just fast, it was an experiment in maximizing sustained output, with a superheater system that delivered over 2,100 horsepower at top speed. Yet the Class 05 remained a prototype, its maintenance demands and wartime priorities halting any hope of mass production. None of the original locomotives survive intact today, only fragments and technical drawings remain, preserved in archives and museums. The DRG Class 05 stands as a fleeting glimpse of what might have been, a bold prototype that shaped the future of high-speed rail across Europe before vanishing into history. Number 6. Union Pacific Big Boy 4014 thunders across the western landscape, its immense, articulated frame sending tremors through the rails as it claws up the legendary grades of Sherman Hill. This Titan was designed specifically to conquer the steep 1.14% climbs between Cheyenne and Ogden, and the Big Boy delivers a starting tractive effort of 135,375 pounds, enough raw force to haul trains exceeding 3,600 tons over the Rockies without helper engines. At over 132 feet long and weighing more than 1.2 million pounds with tinder, this locomotive was built for one purpose: moving the heaviest wartime freight over the harshest terrain America's railroads could offer. Only 25 Big Boys were ever constructed, and just 8 survive today. Of those, only 4014 has returned to life, restored by the Union Pacific Steam Shop and roaring back onto the main line in 2019 after nearly 6 decades in retirement. Modern logs record its renewed feats: mile-long trains, mountain air thick with cinders and steam, and crowds gathering trackside to witness the living giant in motion. Unlike static museum pieces, 4014 stands alone as the world's largest operating steam locomotive, a moving monument to brute force engineering and the relentless drive to master the mountains. Number 5. DR-18-201 streaks across the post-war German landscape, its deep red livery flashing past in a blur of precision and speed. Born from the remnants of pre-war H-45 prototypes, this one-of-a-kind locomotive was rebuilt in 1961 by the Deutsche Reichsbahn as an experimental test bed, fusing advanced engineering with wartime salvage. Underneath the streamlined shell, a 3-cylinder engine and a high-pressure boiler pushed output to 3,900 indicated horsepower, figures rarely matched by any European steamer after the war. In 1972, DR-18-201 thundered down the Berlin to Dresden main line, officially clocking 113 miles per hour during a controlled trial, setting the post-war German speed benchmark for steam. Engineers at the DB Museum recall the sensation: a locomotive so finely balanced that even at triple-digit speeds, the gauges held steady and the ride stayed smooth. A testament to precision and care. Unlike the mass-produced express engines of earlier decades, only one DR-18-201 ever existed, making its survival into the 21st century all the more remarkable. Steamed regularly until 2018, it stands as both a technological outlier and a living archive of German rail innovation. In the words of one museum engineer, it was the last to prove that steam, given precision and care, could rival any modern machine. Number 4. Under the relentless African sun, the South African Railways Class 26 Red Devil stands as a defiant rebuke to the idea that steam's days were numbered. In 1981, British engineer David Wardale took a tired Class 25C and transformed it into the most efficient mainline steam locomotive ever to run in South Africa. The Red Devil's vivid scarlet paint was not just for show. It marked a radical leap in performance, achieved through meticulous engineering. Wardale's modifications centered on the Limpor exhaust system, a reimagined blast pipe and chimney arrangement that drew hot gases through the boiler more efficiently than any traditional setup. The result was a verified 28% reduction in coal consumption during Outeniqua Museum trial runs, with trial logs recording fuel savings that stunned even seasoned railwaymen. Tractive effort climbed to 49,500 pounds, enough to handle the heaviest trains on steep grades with less smoke and fewer stops for water. Wardale described the locomotive as a proof of what steam could have become, if only the world had given it one more chance. Yet the Red Devil remained a solitary experiment, sidelined by politics and the unstoppable advance of diesel. Today, it is preserved as a static exhibit in George, South Africa. Its firebox is cold, but its legend burns brighter than ever, a singular testament to human ingenuity, squeezing every last drop of power and efficiency from steam. The Red Devil's story marks a turning point, where innovation pushed past convention and hinted at what might have been, just before the era of sheer locomotive size arrived. Coming to the top 3, the C&O Allegheny H-8 emerges from the shadows of the roundhouse, its vast articulated frame stretching nearly 115 feet from pilot to tender. This was not just a locomotive. It was a force of nature, tipping the scales at approximately 1.2 million pounds when fully loaded. Built by Lima for the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway in the 1940s, the Allegheny was engineered to conquer the punishing grades of the Appalachian coal routes, where brute power was non-negotiable. Official builder sheets claimed 7,500 horsepower and a tractive effort of 110,200 pounds of force, figures that sparked heated debates among railroad enthusiasts and engineers alike. Even modern reanalyses struggle to reconcile builder claims with dynamometer car results, but on paper, the Allegheny stood at the very peak of steam-era muscle. Yet such mass came at a price. The sheer size of the H-8 locomotives demanded infrastructure on a scale few railroads could match. Turntable restriction memos from the era reveal that only the largest 115-foot turntables could accommodate these giants, and many roundhouses simply could not handle their length or weight. This limited the Allegheny's domain to select routes where heavy coal drags justified the investment. Of the 60 built, only 2 have survived, both preserved as static exhibits. One sits at the Henry Ford Museum in Michigan, the other at the B&O Railroad Museum in Baltimore. Their presence is a reminder of an era when raw power alone could shape the limits of railroading. The Allegheny H-8 stands as a monumental symbol of what steam could achieve when every constraint was pushed to its absolute breaking point. Number 2, Mallard streaks into history as the undisputed champion of steam speed. On July 3, 1938, this streamlined blue A4 Pacific thundered down Stoke Bank, its 3-cylinder engine unleashed beneath a 6-coach train. With the boiler pressed to 250 pounds per square inch and the Kyle-Chap double chimney system drawing every last ounce of draft, Mallard surged past the century mark, then kept climbing. At precisely 1:28 p.m., the dynamometer car registered 126 miles per hour, a world record for steam that has never been officially surpassed. The conditions were meticulously prepared: a gentle downhill grade, fresh bearings, and a hand-picked crew led by driver Joe Duddington and fireman Tommy Bray. Inspector Sid Jenkins, riding in the cab, signaled the moment to open the regulator wide. As the train accelerated past Grantham, the cab filled with a roar, steam valves hissing, the firebox glowing white-hot, and the speedometer needle pressed hard against its limit. Crew testimonies recall the tension as Mallard hurtled into the record stretch, wheels hammering the rails, the locomotive riding the edge of its mechanical endurance. Just minutes after the peak, a hot big end bearing forced Mallard to limp into Peterborough, the price of pushing steam to its absolute limit. Post-run inspection revealed the damage, proof of the strain that world beating speed exacted, even on a machine built for the task. Today, Mallard rests as a static exhibit at the National Railway Museum in York, her polished blue casing and record-setting dynamometer car preserved side by side. No other steam locomotive, preserved or lost, has matched her verified top speed, and none have captured the imagination of engineers and enthusiasts with quite the same intensity. Mallard's record stands as a testament to aerodynamic design, crew daring, and the relentless pursuit of the possible, setting the stage for the final, most ambitious steam giant yet to come. And finally, in first place, the Pennsylvania Railroad S1 stands alone as the most ambitious and singular steam locomotive ever constructed. Built in 1939 at the Altoona Works, the S1 was a one-off experiment in raw power and scale. A 6,446 duplex with a rigid wheelbase stretching an astonishing 45 feet. No other passenger engine matched its sheer size or the audacity of its design. Under the streamlined shell, the S1 delivered a static tested output of 7,200 horsepower, a figure that eclipsed nearly every other steam locomotive of its era. During a publicity run, Popular Mechanics reported the S1 reached an unofficial speed of 133 miles per hour, pushing the boundaries of what steam could achieve, even if the record remains debated among historians. But the S1's true legacy lies in the tension between vision and reality. Its enormous wheelbase, unmatched by any other rigid-frame locomotive, proved too long for most American rail infrastructure. Turntables, roundhouses, and even station platforms struggled to accommodate it. Internal memos from the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania reveal how routing the S1 became a logistical puzzle, forced to operate on only the straightest, broadest sections of track, and unable to navigate many of the curves and facilities that defined the Pennsylvania Railroad's network. Despite its breathtaking presence at the 1939 New York World's Fair, where it was displayed as a symbol of American engineering prowess, the S1 was ultimately a victim of its own ambition. It remained a solitary creation, never duplicated, and was quietly scrapped in 1949 after just a decade of service. Today, the S1 endures as a cautionary tale, an icon of what happens when the quest for power and speed outpaces the world it is meant to serve. Under museum spotlights and in faded fairground photographs, its story is a reminder that even the greatest machines are bound by the limits of their time, and that true rarity is often born from dreams that prove too big for the rails. Across all 10 machines, one pattern stands out. True power in steam wasn't just about brute force or speed, but relentless innovation, pushing technology to its edge, even as the world moved on. That drive still shapes how we engineer, dream, and break limits today. The legacy of these locomotives is progress itself. If you love extreme engineering, subscribe for more stories behind the world's greatest machines.